This generation is the most bombarded generation since Adam alayhi salam. The amount information and knowledge that is available to them is more than ever. So make no mistake, don't compare yourselves to them. Quran is the main miracle. Of course, the second miracle, how he changed the society which was lost, lawless society, which didn't have no government, no system, to a civilization. That's his major second unbelievable, miraculous achievements. My dear brothers and sisters, this is Rabi' al-Awwal. This is the month where Prophet ﷺ was born. He was born in the same day. He died in the same day. He became Prophet the same day. He entered Medina the same day. There are 20 things happened in the same day. And that's why he used to fast Monday to commemorate and celebrate the many blessings. And he says, I love Monday. Allah has blessed me a lot in this month. Can you believe? Not only being born or becoming a prophet, or entering Medina to start the Ummah on this day of, and also many scholars, Qadi Iyad and many scholars have counted, many blessings happen. So we think about the Prophet ﷺ, and we speak about the Prophet ﷺ, and we sing about the Prophet ﷺ, but how is it relevant in my time, especially for our children? In the 21st century, the age of rapid and fast means of communication. Make no mistake, I want to say something that probably you're not, unfortunately many of the Muslims do not think about it. Your children, my children, the generation which is now 30 years old and down, is the, and now watch, hold on to your seats. I'm saying something you probably never heard before. Is the most bombarded generation since Adam alayhi salam with information and knowledge. The most bombarded. You know what bombarded means? You bombard, with weapons. This generation is the most bombarded generation since Adam alayhi salam. The amount information and knowledge that is available to them is more than ever. So make no mistake, don't compare yourselves to them. And we have failed as Muslim communities, as parents, as teachers, as leaders, in bringing what's in the book into their reality. So there is a major schism and major break between those who are coming to Islam, whether they are born, or others, non-Muslims, who are faced with this religion that is and portrayed as against anything that is good. We know that Rasulullah said Dajjal, will actually show the good things bad and the bad things good. And he has already started. His system has already started. The good is bad and the bad is good. I'm not going to talk about that topic. I am talking about our children and human beings in general are this generation more than ever is the most bombarded generation since Adam alayhi salam. So please don't make a mistake and do not try to expect this generation to be like Abu Bakr and Umar and Uthman and Ali and expect them. Abu Bakr and Umar and Uthman and Ali, they heard the news once a week or once in 2 weeks. For the news to travel from Mecca to Medina, you need a minimum 1 week. Today, as Rasulullah prophesied, it will take a wink of an eye. يكذب الرجل الكذبة تبلغ الآفاق. A person will lie and he will reach the horizons, the countries, the farthest lands, beyond the oceans in a wink of an eye. He said, a person will know تحدثه فخذه بما أحدث أهله. There will be a time a person will know what's going on home. at home with something next to their thighs. You know what I have next to my thigh? Subhanallah. I'll show you what I have next to my thigh. The world is here. You can talk to your family not only here, back home. Rasulullah said that. He said people will be speaking to their shoes, to their laces. A little bit more. Yeah, that's good, good, good. You'll be speaking. It hasn't happened yet, but you will see it. And he spoke about this. Our time is not like other times. People did not work this much. People woke up, they prayed Fajr, they had breakfast, quality time with their families. Then they want to work in the field, whatever their trade. By noon, the day is over. They go have lunch, and then they go sleep, nap. ثلاث عورات لكم, the Quran says. 3 times you have family time. After Isha, before Fajr, and after Dhuhr. That's how Rasulullah lived and the companions. And then after Asr, they go pray Asr. After Asr, it's family time. They play with their children, as we read in the tradition. They were racing with them, riding with them, teaching them skills, sports of that time, arching and horseback riding, racing. Or they will go to learn the Deen. Maghrib, they pray Maghrib, they eat dinner. That was the lifestyle of that time. After Isha, they sleep. They don't stay up all night like we do. They sleep after Isha. وَقَدْ كَرِهَ النَّبِيُّ صلى الله عليه وسلم الْحَدِيثَ بَعْدَ الْعِشَاء. They did not. It is makruh in the time of Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم to sit down and talk after Isha prayer. Go home and sleep. يا رسول الله رقد النسيان والصبيان فخرج عليهم فقال لولا أن أشق على أمتي لأمرتهم بهذه الصلاة في هذا الوقت أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. One day Rasulullah was late for Isha prayer, and they said, and then everybody was waiting. And Umar ibn Khattab said, Ya Rasulullah, come out. The children and the women have already slept. And then the Prophet came out and said, if I did not want to make it difficult for you, I would have ordered you to delay Isha till this time. Because Isha, the more you delay it, the more thawab, the more reward. That was the lifestyle, and they had good sleep. They slept definitely their good hours. Of course, they could do tahajjud. Someone who slept at 8 p.m. Definitely in winter, you can wake up at 2. You had a good 6 hours, and then you have a nap after Dhuhr. Now we expect us not to sleep enough and do tahajjud. And lifestyle has changed. Today, you spend more than your day, half of your day at work. And you cannot pay the bills. You heard the report. The ratio of debt to income in Canada now is more than 65, sometimes 80%. People are working. In the time of Prophet ﷺ, my dear brothers and sisters, life was not running after dunya. You live at your pace. Housing was not a problem. Do you know that housing was never an issue? Because it's necessity. We don't talk about housing. Housing is like food. Like the famous Urdu saying, kapra, roti, makan. Very important. We don't talk about that. These are essential. Kapra means clothing. Makan, place. And roti means food. They did not talk about that. That was already given. Housing was not an issue in the time of Prophet ﷺ. Was not an issue. There was no such thing mortgage or this. There was no such thing rent. Rasulullah said, if you find a piece of land, build your house, it's yours. It was simple. Life was simple back then. You can't compare it to now. So don't make people in difficulty and you expect them to be Umars and Abu Bakrs and your children. We have a problem. We have a wholesale education. You know what wholesale means? This is it. Take it or leave it. We need to focus on that. So even our children who know nothing and confused today, but this massive information, and I'm comparing their reality in their world, our reality and world, compared to what was in the past. We want to apply everything in the book. Look what Rasulullah says. And you understand, if you can remember just this before you leave and understand that their lifestyle was different. We are poor, we are miskeen. Wherever you get, you pay it for mortgage or rent. Subhanallah. We shouldn't worry about housing. Housing should be in the Prophet ﷺ. They didn't talk. Wallahi, and I'm saying it from the minbar of Rasulullah ﷺ. They never talked about the issue of housing. Housing was not an issue. Today, most of your salary goes to pay for the house. And you're struggling. And you're busy. And in the midst of that, you don't give proper education to your children. All of us are running. And by the time we retire, we're too old to help or do activities or do something for Islam or our community. We're so tired. Now we just finished paying off the mortgage. Now I want to go to Hajj. And then I take them every year to Hajj, and they are tired. They can't do the tawaf properly. They cannot do this because I am so tired. Let me get a wheelchair. Why didn't you go when you were young? Well, we were running. We had the debt. And I heard, this is the same thing you hear over and over. Rasulullah ﷺ said, in this hadith, which is good chain of transmission, he said, إنكم في زمن كثير علماؤه قليل خطباؤه من ترك عشر دينه فقد هلك وسيأتي زمان كثير خطباؤه قليل علماؤه من تمسك بعشر دينه فقد نجا رواه الترمذي. He's talking to his companions. But when he's talking to them, he's also mindful of us. Because Allah has showed him what will happen. He's talking to me and you through this. He's talking to the companions at his time. You are in a time, there are many people who know, understand the Deen. The Quran is the language of the Sahaba. They understood it. They know the words and what they mean. They can see it in front of them. They can see the word in front of them, because the miracle of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is the word. Correct? That's his word. Quran is the main miracle. Of course, the second miracle, how he changed the society which was lawless society, which didn't have no government, no system, to a civilization. That's his major second unbelievable, miraculous achievements. Because if you don't know Arabia, if you don't know a history before what was before Muhammad ﷺ, you will never appreciate or understand the work of Muhammad ﷺ. Like you go to a house. You go to a house, nice house, mashallah, beautiful house. Beautiful, 5,000 square feet, nice house, mashallah, it's okay. May Allah bless the house and the people. But if you go to a house where you visited like a year ago, which was shabby, a shack, it looked like a stable, bad smell, bad, everything is bad. But you come after a year and they change it, like they do those home improvement shows, you know. They turn over, they actually gingerbread the house, it looks great. And you say, Subhanallah, wow, this is the house I visited last time. Wow, oh my God, how did you do it? That is example of Muhammad ﷺ. A mass, people killing each other, people fighting each other on trivial things. It was lawless society. There was Persia, Furs, and Rome, the Romans. And the Arabs had no civilization. Muhammad ﷺ made civilization. He has many miracles. So he's talking to his people in his time. You are in a time, there are many people who know. They knew the Quran. They understood it. The majority of Muslims cannot connect to the Quran. Our children, their mother tongue is English. They are not reading the Quran. Who told you they're reading the Quran? They're reading man's word. That English translation there, that Urdu and Bengali translation, that French translation in Spanish and Swahili is not Quran. It's man's word. It's the effort of a person who did his best to translate. I met actually a brother, may Allah bless his soul, he died. And I asked him, I said, well, let's speak Arabic. MashaAllah, you translate. He says, no, I don't speak Arabic. I said, how come you translated the Quran, you don't know Arabic? He says, I just from different translation. I said, then you are not relying on Allah's word, on man's word to come up with something which is sold and is very popular in bookstores as a translation of the Quran. I say, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. How do you expect our children to read the Quran? They're not reading the Quran. They're reading the word of man and interpretation of the Quran, including ayats that actually put women down, which have nothing to do with Allah. If you know Arabic, Allah speaks to men and women. But some translation, they show it as if Allah is speaking to men. And of course, women, they are not there. I have seen it. Actually, it's a common mistake. يا أيها الذين إن من أزواجكم وأولادكم عدوا لكم فاحذروهم. Most of the translations you read there, It says, amongst your wives and children, there are enemies to you. All of them. So far, I haven't seen anybody who has done justice. Maybe one or two. I don't recall very well. So people read, when a woman reads this, see, even the Quran says to men, be careful, your wives can be your enemies. No, that's not what the Quran said. The Quran says, among your spouses. And I keep giving you tens and tens and tens of examples, but we don't have time. So he said, you are in a time, there are many people who know, and only few who dare to speak, khutaba, to speak. If you leave 10% of your deen, you will perish. But there will be a time, and I'm very sure and confident it is our time. There will be many people who dare to speak about Islam. MashaAllah, I have heard tafsir on radio, on internet, by people who don't even know alif ba ta. They don't even know fa'il maf'ul bih, masdar, tamyiz. They don't even know any grammar. And they are giving tafsir, MashaAllah. He says there will be many people who speak. Look today, YouTube, anything you want it, as you want it, whenever you want it. Okay? He says there will be many people who dare to speak, but very few. قَلِيلٌ عُلَمَاؤُهُ. Very few really who understand and know. If they leave 10% of, if they do 10% of their deen, they'll be saved. أو كما قال صلى الله عليه وسلم. And Rasul is seeing this, knows. So what should we focus as parents and teachers and leaders? Focus on priorities. It is a matter of faith. Right now we are seeing children coming and questioning. They believe in evolution. They believe God is unjust. They believe these are Muslim children. I have seen and I am seeing. You don't see. But us who meet and dare and sit and talk to the community, we are seeing things are changing. It's good to work hard, but not at the expense of your children and family. It is better to eat bread and water, you know, and not eat meat and spend time with your family than eat all kinds of foods and have no time with your children. This is the reality. Let's slap our faces and wake up from this dangerous dream we are in, an illusion, you know. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us in the Quran, وَلَلدَّارُ الْآخِرَةُ لَهِيَ الْحَيَوَانُ لَوْ كَانُوا يَعْلَمُونَ. The real life is in the hereafter if they only know. This is just, you know, a journey. And we are tried with our children. الْمَالُ وَالْبَنُونَ زِينَةُ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيا. Allah says wealth and children and family is the beauty of this dunya. But you have to be conscious that could be test for you. These children are a trust. Wallahi, this generation, may Allah be with them. I believe if they do 10% of the deen, they'll be fine. But don't overburden them. Expect them to do 100%. Nobody, wallahi, Rasulullah said, وَلَن يُشَادَّ هَذَا الدِّينَ أَحَدٌ إِلَّا غَلَبَهُ. Nobody who wants to wrestle with the deen, meaning you want to do everything, like they say, neck to neck, everything that Rasulullah did, he says you will be defeated. So this is, and also our children, sometimes they go to the extreme. We have to be careful what they're reading, what they're watching on the internet. There are people who are messed up. Hate will not lead us to anywhere. Rasulullah conquered the world with love and respect and dignity and equality of human beings. No difference between Arab or Ajam or black or white. These are the principles people need to hear outside. People are suffering outside from racism. Don't expect them to come to Islam and find racism and going to love Islam. They should find in Muslims that there is no racism, that there is justice, that there is respect for women, that all of these things, when there is domestic violence in the rise outside, when they come to the Muslim communities, domestic violence is very low. When there is divorce, very high. In Canada, 52% of marriages end up in divorce. It should be less than 5% in the Muslim community. Then they will see that this religion really does change. This religion of Islam does make a person happy. This religion of Islam that does make a person closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. نفعني الله وإياكم بالقرآن الكريم وبسنة المصطفى عليه أفضل الصلاة والتسليم. استغفر الله الغفور الرحيم.